Welcome, welcome everybody to Goldenseed Sessions, a new series we're starting to unlock some of the secrets to entrepreneurial success. I'll be inviting some friends on to talk about what they do, how they got to where they are. And today I have the pleasure of meeting with Nicolette, who's a successful portrait photographer and business owner of how many years now have you been in business?
On going on to 7.
Wow, 7 years. So you've got lots of knots to share from your journey. So Nicolette, thank you for joining us today. I'm super excited for having you on.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Before we begin, let me just explain why we're here, why I created this. I really wanted to create community and a space where entrepreneurs like you and me can just share some of their experiences and advice and really get everyone involved and see the behind the scenes. And in this discussion, we'll be talking about everything from Nicolette's journey as an entrepreneur to her strategies for staying energized and how she keeps going. So let's dive right in, okay? All right, Nicolette, why don't you just tell us who you are in your own words?
Oh, that's very nice intro. Thank you. Gives me a chance to set a little bit of a tone. So I am Nicolette Jackson Pownell. I am a personal branding and modern beauty photographer here based in LA. And I have been in business for going on 7 years now. And I love it. I'm super passionate about what I do. I love working with the kinds of clients that I have the honor and privilege of working with. Most of them are small business owners and C-suite executives. And a lot of them are creative entrepreneurs. So it kind of taps into both the business and the creative side, which is what I try to inhabit in my own business as well as a photographer.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Nicolette, let's talk a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur and what motivated you to get into business for yourself, because it's a crazy thing to want to take on that risk. So what motivated you to get started and what drives you?
Desperation. I think I hit a wall. I've been in sales most of my professional life. I have a journalism degree, but I got into magazine publishing and very quickly got into the advertising sales part of that. So this is on the print side, and just did a lot of consulting work over the years. My last official job was with a very small organization, kind of a mom and pop shop, and they were doing digital advertising, digital marketing for college students, so database driven marketing. And it was really roughshod and it's super stressful. It was a very small team, and it wasn't a good fit. Did not work out well for me, and I ended up being fired from that job, which was a godsend. And I was so stressed and so angry after the experience that I decided that I was going to do something for myself and pursue something that was true to my heart and not just true to my wallet. And if I was going to be that stressed out, it was going to be for the pursuit of my own dreams and my own money, and not somebody else's dreams and somebody else's money. So I had always wanted to be a photographer. I was just afraid of it. I was afraid of the commitment to a creative type of business rather than something that was a little bit more corporate or standard small businessy, right? Because there are a lot of failed photographers out there. There are a lot of photographers who are burnt out and who just haven't gotten a handle on the business side. But I figured with my experience in sales and marketing and having worked primarily with small businesses and for small businesses, it was at least worth taking a chance. And that's how I started my business, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, it's always worth it to take a chance on yourself. And entrepreneurs, like you and me and anybody else watching, we often start out because of the necessity to obviously make enough to live, but then there's this purpose behind that. Like you mentioned, you want to contribute to something that's fulfilling and not just draining you for your hours and attention all day. Bigger purpose and necessity, that's really what drives a lot of unique ideas. And I love that for your journey so far.
Yeah, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to, it's been a lot of that for themselves as well. They've been at that point, they've been pushed to the brink where they're making a decision that's truly for themselves and for their own growth, rather than somebody else's business, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely taking that risk on yourself. Doesn't seem like in the moment, but it pays off, it pays off. You get lessons. Even if you become rich, you have all these lessons behind you. If you don't become rich, you have these lessons behind you. So you know a little bit more about yourself. And that's what I love about being an entrepreneur as well. So speaking back to that, how do you stay focused? Because it is, you're taking on so much. You have to be everything in your business. You have to be the creative and the business side. How do you stay focused and motivated and maintain a work-life balance?
Great question. I'm not sure I have a great work-life balance just yet. I haven't quite figured out. I'm just learning to release the reins of my business. I am very much a one-stop shop business owner. I'm probably what you call a micro business. I don't have any employees. I utilize hair and makeup artists on an as-need basis. But I've just started kind of releasing the reins for social media marketing and branding for my own business. Because I think at some point to grow, we all need help. So for me, it's really been release of control, and also that old adage of like investing in yourself. So it's one thing to take the risk to start the business, but to keep investing in the business is really, as a solopreneur, you're investing in yourself. And that, I won't lie, has been a difficult process for me. But I'm really at that juncture now where for the business to keep growing, I have to do it. And so I'm not sure there's really a work-life balance just yet, but I do incorporate a lot of things into my life that justify the work that I do as a small business owner. So I get to manage my own time, which is something that I've always wanted to do. I get to travel when I want to travel and kind of work my business around that. And I get to spend time with my loved ones and be active, be physically active, which is really important to re-energize my approach to my business, and more importantly, how I get to engage with my clients and bring energy to my clients as a photographer.
Absolutely. So delegating is another theme I hear with entrepreneurs. We have such a hard time letting go and delegating, letting someone else take over. And that's really important. But I know you said you don't have a work-life balance just yet, but it sounds like you're on the path to doing that, because delegating really is step one.
Yeah.
That was a struggle for me as well. I still maintains that struggle in trying to figure out what else I can delegate so that I can do more of what I'm like really good at. Because you can be good at everything, but you really want to stick to what you're great and what you excel at. And delegating helps you do that. I totally agree with that. And investing in yourself, that is really important. I have this conversation often with my partner. We often feel bad for doing for ourselves because we're so used to serving others. But when we give that same focus and attention to ourselves, that's when we really begin to grow, because you're giving a focus to you, you're letting yourself shine and hearing your own thoughts and executing ideas that might come up. So that's important too. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, you and I are in a group called TEAM. I think meeting every week has been very, for me, grounding and energizing to just have a group of people that are successful, challenging, and entrepreneurs and business owners and professionals in my sphere. It keeps raising my bar, and hearing about your success stories as an entrepreneur and how you approach and troubleshoot your business. Just all of this is just kind of part of me, rah-rahing for entrepreneurship. So yeah, that's definitely been a big part of it for me as well.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. When you're around other successful entrepreneurs, you are motivated to be just like they are. And I'm really grateful for that group, by the way. You and I have talked through, problems that we have in our business, and we go to events and support each other, and we're kind of wingman and wingwoman for each other sometimes.
Yeah, I love it. It's so helpful.
It's important to have a community of people like you, and it could be so isolating, being your own boss. You're just, especially if you work for yourself and you're just, you're your own team, right?
That's
it could be really lonely going through some of the things you go through, and people don't understand because they have regular jobs and they're like, well, why didn't you just go get a job? It's not that simple. This has to work for me.
No, and I've
So,
been working from home for, since this started, and actually even before in the position I was in, I've been working from home remotely, and that is I'm an extrovert, and so I mean it can be really frustrating and depressing to
yeah.
not be engaged with other people. So yeah, it's definitely been a plus. And now we're getting back out. COVID is not quite over, but it's over well enough that I'm happy that we're able to go out and network again. And that's one of the keys to how I grow my business is engaging with other people, new people, and building new relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, that community aspect is important,
Yeah. Very.
just so you don't feel like you're on your own island and doing everything yourself.
Right.
You can always bounce ideas off of others, just like this idea came up, and I was like, Nicolette would be perfect for it, and you agreed, and I love that. So yeah, that's part of the journey, definitely. So let's talk about some success stories and favorite
Sure.
projects. I'm sure you've done some really awesome things. Your work is great, by the way. If
Thank
anybody's
you.
watching, njpphotography.com is our website. Definitely check it out. But yeah, let's talk about some really great things you've done.
Oh,
I'll
thank
let you
you.
take over.
Um, I think for project wise, I think my Rock Your Age, which has really been like my big project of the last few years, started during COVID. It's focused on women over 40, and it's about celebrating the beauty, the sexy, the strength of women of this age. I'm
Hmm.
also in that age range. I'm 45, and I love what women are doing as they come into their own at this stage in their life. And some of my clients are in their 60s and 70s. So it's not just like, oh, rah, rah 40s, which is great. But I've really enjoyed and taken great pleasure in photographing women who from all walks of life, and they participate in this project for many different reasons. Some of them lost loved ones during COVID, and they just wanted to just take a pause and celebrate their own existence and being alive and
Hmm.
being healthy. Some of them were changing jobs or moving into entrepreneurship. And so they wanted images to support that brand, that personal brand. And some women were just celebrating a birthday or frankly, a divorce, and they had walked through fire, and they were looking for a moment in time to kind of mark this rite of passage for themselves. So I've worked with some really phenomenal women. All of my clients are really wonderful. And I think kind of echo some of the reasons why I got into entrepreneurship. There are,
Hmm.
that kind of roles within like attracts like.
Yeah.
But this project, Rock Your Age, has been fantastic, and I continue to market it, and it's drawing attention to my brand and giving women a reason to do a photo shoot just for the sake of doing a photo shoot. Like they have to see
Yeah.
it for it to resonate, right? It's not just, oh, I need a new headshot for LinkedIn. It's like, oh my God, no, I'm buying an experience. I'm buying a self-celebration. And yeah, if they hadn't seen it in other women and the whys for other women doing it, it might not resonate so well. So this has been great for me on a business level as well.
That's awesome. And there's that purpose thing again came up. You're serving women and helping them to celebrate their uniqueness. And I'm sure that adds even more feeling of fulfillment behind this project. I would love to take a look at some of them. Maybe we can
Sure,
just kind of bring it up on the screen really quickly.
sure. We can do a screen share if you'd like. There you go. And so what I've done is I've collated all these images, this collection, into a book.
Oh, wow.
And it's available for print on Blurb, just mostly for the people who are participants. Anybody can purchase it if they want, but I've showcased it on my website as an ebook, and it's really just to give potential clients and friends and family a means of like seeing kind of the work that I do. So it's really simple, and for the most part, you can, I think, access it from my website. It should open. Let me see. If I just scroll it down here. I've just might have to cut this one out until I can access it, but you should just be able to flip through the pages like this.
Hmm.
And it really is just the digital version of the actual book. And it's laid out the same way. It's this landscape In print, it's quite large. It's 12 by 14. And it's just, I'm just showcasing these women and their stories. And I had them post shoot, just answer a quick Q&A as to their motivation, what they had going on. I already knew that because I do a consultation with all my clients before a session. And the women who wanted to participate, we really sat down and had a good hours long chat as like, what are they looking for? Why do they want to be a part of this portrait series? And then I loved asking them like how they define themselves in like 3 keywords. And so these women got to answer that question. And then I just compiled it. I compiled it in a little mini bio that would explain, why they wanted to do it, what they got out of the shoot. And a lot of these women, it's really, the catalyst was like, oh, I need a new headshot, or, oh, I'm starting a new job, but really the motivation was always psycho-emotional. And it was always far bigger. Their why was far bigger than just the job or the personal brand or what have you. So they really, it was really an emotional thing for a lot of these women, as it always is.
Yeah.
Shoots end up being emotional and psychologically grounded. And so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I have my own family members in this book. I have the moms of participants in this book. I have 3 sisters. These are just the 3 girls from this one family. And it was a big family shoot day, and the mom came in, and, so it's just been a blast. And these are just a great representation of the kinds of people that I work with on a day-to-day basis, for the most part. So
That's excellent.
Thanks.
I'm smiling really big because some of the women you've photographed, I recognize, and I see them. It's like you see them in a different way in the way you frame them. And it is just like you're celebrating you're making them heroes, really. Their heroineness, I guess that's the word for it.
I want them to be the heroes of their own story, and I think regardless of why one does a photo shoot, whether you do it for work or for your own personal reasons, or, celebrate a milestone in your life, I think one should come across like that. One should come across like, like you're on the page of your own magazine, like Oprah. Right? And have that kind of star power, because you have it. Everyone has it. It's just about finding the right photographer who will pull it out of you. So,
oh man, you really have pulled out some amazing things in these women, and you see their personality even just in this 5-second shot. I see that, their personality is strong, active, caring, loving, and it comes across in these images, and it's incredible how you capture that.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me a chance to share. So, and
Absolutely.
I think that, the more I talk about this kind of work and the whys behind it, the more it resonates. And it's really just, it's bigger. It's always bigger than just needing a new headshot. Always.
Yeah, I love that. And what came to mind while seeing those images, some of the women I've met before, I know what they do. This is a good way to help battle imposter syndrome.
Yes,
because you're not able to see yourself as the superstar, rock star, because you're in you're seeing it happen from here. But when you get to see yourself celebrated and blown up on an image in the light that you want people to see you as, it just kind of verifies, I am strong, I am powerful, or I am the CEO of my own business. So, and that was the experience. Exactly. That was the experience when I had my shoot with you. I really felt like this was 2018, 2019, a while back. I need another one, by the way, because I'm a totally different person from when I was back then. But yeah, it was a way for me to just, and probably the same for these women, to see themselves like, wow, that is who I am. And just validate the strengths you already feel, and go into a meeting feeling confident, because that image is also on your social media or however you present yourself. And I love that about having a shoot done so well, like how you do. It definitely helps battle that imposter syndrome.
I agree. It gives them the proof that they are allowed to step into their own version of success, right? It gives them that authority within themselves to be like, oh no, I am the CEO of this company. Damn right I am. Or I deserve this raise, or absolutely I'm going to ask for more money with this recruiter, because
Mm-hmm.
not only is it reflected in the resume, but I have visual proof that I am
Yep.
the bomb. So it is, you're right. It's a great way of explaining it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna schedule another shoot because back then I was just so, it was like baby Jason, like, oh, I'm just getting started, and
Oh, you still did
but
great. You did great.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. The last thing I want to talk about is what you are currently daydreaming about in your business, and what are some future goals you have for maybe a dream project or how you want to grow
Mm.
your business, and yeah, what are you daydreaming about?
Daydream about, yeah, I'd love to be able to just outsource all my social media and marketing,
Mm,
or at least partner with someone who loves that aspect of running a business, or more than happy to profit share with someone who's gonna, quadruple my income on that score, because I hate doing it. I love interacting with people. I love networking. I love dealing with referral. I love all the other side of it. The marketing and the social media is just a pain in my ass, even though it's something I encourage all my clients to do. And that's why we do the shoots that we do.
hmm.
It's always like, the hairdresser who needs a haircut thing, right?
Yeah.
So I daydream about that. I daydream of like meeting my perfect partner for this, for my business, which would be awesome. And always looking. So keep in mind any referrals for that. And for projects, I really think so. For this year, every year I try to come up with like a major marketing campaign. And this year I was thinking, so many of the clients that I've worked with are like post-divorce.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to find the right way to market specifically to that demographic of women. I think when women come out of a divorce, I'm not saying right away, but within a few months to a year, there's this reclaiming of oneself. There's this, like,
Hmm.
there's a rebirth that happens, because the woman that you were as the wife and maybe the mom in this situation is no longer the woman that you are today, right? You were just talking about like baby Jason, 3-4 years ago in your business. Well, just, think about like 20 years of marriage or 15 years of marriage. And when you evolve and change and grow out of that, who are you? And a lot of
Yeah.
women are trying to figure that out post-divorce. And so I think it's a phenomenal time to do a photo shoot. It's a great reason to do a photo shoot. And I'd like that bent to be a little bit more of the, like the Vanity Fair style photo shoots that I do. So it's not about work. It's not about personal branding. It's just about like reclaiming yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
yeah,
that.
thanks.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. That's kind of my drive for like this year's is finding those women and showing them why this type of photo shoot would be great for them. So
Yeah, I can picture like another coffee table book like you've
yeah,
done with the Rock Your Age campaign, and how that'll just help whoever is going through a post-divorce life, just like you said, reclaim who they are and be able to see a future, like a possibility, like, and bring out some of the characteristics that we're maybe hiding in a marriage. 'Cause sometimes we hide
yeah.
ourselves in relationships. And yeah, that'd be great. I love that idea, and I can't wait to see something like that sort of manifest for you. Like your first project, you'll be able to just really promote it after that.
Yeah, I would love that. And I would love to just keep working. I love this demographic of like 40 plus. It's kind of
Hmm.
it's my heart and soul. And yeah, a woman just contacted me a few days ago through Google search, and she's celebrating, it's a different tack, but she's celebrating her 70th birthday. And she's had a very full life. And she's so proud of her life, and she's so proud of what she's accomplished. And she came from Nigeria 40 years ago, and she was in Nebraska and divorced and then moved, and and her kids to LA, and started a CPA business. And she's just like, it's full circle for her. And she doesn't want to do it with her kids. She doesn't want to do it with her grandkids. She just wants a day for herself, right? To just be like, look at me roar, look at what I've done. And then she'll showcase those photos at her 70th birthday party in November. And it's just, that's just a phenomenal reason to do a photo shoot
Yes,
itself,
yes,
so I'm just
yes.
super stoked. And when I get those phone calls, I'm so excited, when I'm talking to them, and I'm just like, it's like, this is great. So more of that is always a blast for me.
Yeah. I love that for this woman that found you through Google search. I love that she gets to celebrate another milestone in her life and
Yeah.
go into a whole new decade and just feel energized and not like, oh, this is the end. No, like there's so much more for you. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to see that project.
Oh my
You can
God, me
share
too.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, outside of work stuff, these are just, I've been talking more about like the emotional components of the why, but of course the personal branding, the lifestyle work, the headshots, that's where business owners can kind of, they see the work, they jive with it, they understand the value of putting
Mhm.
yourself out there, right? Through imagery,
Yeah.
like we did for you, you have to have all these different types of photos for your social media, for your website, your blog, your speaking engagements. It goes on and on, so I know
Yeah.
video is becoming kind of king, but there's always going to be a need for still imagery, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because you can't print a video, right?
No.
Most
Yeah.
business owners at least have a business card or they give out flyers, and you want all of those materials to look very professional and show exactly who you are and what you offer in those images.
Yeah. Yeah. LinkedIn is still imagery for now, you know,
Right. There'll be
so
a day when LinkedIn is like TikTok. I'm telling you, it's coming.
probably then we'll all have to pivot, it's like,
Right, yeah. But no, you're right. Like we definitely need those headshots. And I work with a lot of attorneys, as you know. And
yeah.
my clients sometimes don't have, or not my clients, the prospects don't have headshots, like the bare minimum headshot on their Avo profile, their website, or their
Yeah.
LinkedIn. It's just a blank square. And I'm always like, wow, you would just attract so many more people who are just, even if they had just a question, you'd attract so many more people interested in you if you had an image that, show that you're confident and you know the law or whatever. So it's important to have all of that kind of squared away for your branding and your images. Yeah. So
Yeah.
someone like you definitely, especially with the creative background and the you bring purpose into it, it just makes it even more worth it to get involved.
Yeah. Well, I try to create an experience. The people should come out of their photo shoots with a nice collection of photos, a varied collection of photos.
Hmm.
And just tap into different personality traits. And at the end of the day, though, what you want is a photo that makes you look likable, trustworthy, engaging, and like what you're doing. So I mean, they kind of like I've never had someone who said to me, oh, I want to look, untrustworthy, a little sly, it's like unfriendly. So there's kind of like this overarching theme of like the money shot will have to make you look knowable, trustable, likable, right?
Hmm.
So, but the rest is just it's just cream on the cake as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Today, we talked about many different areas of entrepreneurship and Nicolette's work. We talked about delegating, investing in yourself, and maintaining that work-life balance. Those are some of the great things that come with being an entrepreneur, but then there's also the necessity and purpose behind that. You want to make sure you have purpose in
Your
your
why.
work and what you do, have your why, and really be
Yeah.
grounded. So hopefully all of you who are listening and watching found that inspirational. Thank you, Nicolette, for sharing your
Okay.
insight and experiences. Before we close up, is there anything you want to add? Any final advice you'd like to offer?
For business owners, yeah, I think not forgetting the why. I think
Hmm.
it's, I know some people might be, I want more money and I'm going to work for myself. And, that's great. I think because it's going to be up and down all the time. Like I have some great months where I feel like I'm in flow. And I have some months where I'm like, why am I doing this? This is not working. This is not what I thought it was going to be. And then the next month it's great. And I'm like, I'm, on top of the world. And I'm trying to find balance in that. I think that, for what you mentioned about work-life balance, I think it's more about emotional balance in the
Yeah.
entrepreneurship journey. For me, that's going
Hmm.
to matter more than work-life balance because I love what I do. And so Sunday nights are not a chore for me. I don't dread Monday mornings, but
Yeah.
being able to ride the waves of entrepreneurship, especially as a solopreneur, is what I'm trying to figure out. And so I just keep trying to come back to my why. My why is that I want freedom and I want independence. And I've said it in our team meetings before, I don't want to have to raise my hand to ask for permission to go to the bathroom. Right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to be in that position. And so that's my driving force. And I think if you keep, as an entrepreneur, you keep remembering why you're in this, more time with your family, more money, whatever it is, right? That hopefully, keeps you going through the shit times, because they're going to be shit times, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I totally agree. That's excellent advice. Coming back to your why is what's going to keep you grounded, and it's a practice. It's not going
A
to happen
practice.
overnight. You have to keep practicing that, because when you have, like you said, when those months where you feel on top of the world and those months when it's a little bit tough, the difference is not, it's not that much different. It's just a number in your bank account. You still have to come back to the why when, you hit your numbers, because then you'll be working so much that you have to remember, okay, this is why I'm doing it, because you might get a ton of clients, and if it's overwhelming to you, but you don't have the why, that could knock you off. You're like, well, this is too much, I'm gonna leave. So yeah, that's excellent advice. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your expertise and for your time today. If
Thank you.
anybody wants to get in touch with Nicolette, I will add her website to the comments. If you're interested in doing a shoot or just learning more about Nicolette, or if you have, referrals, like she mentioned earlier, in the description, you can check it out. And also, you can join us on our weekly team meetings. It's a Zoom meeting where we network with a bunch of members of our networking community across the board: attorneys, accountants, creatives like you and I, CRM. We have a charity group as well. Come join us, come talk to us, share your business. I will also leave information on how to join our meetings, because it's a private Zoom link, but we love to see you. So
Yeah, we'd
thank
love
you
to
all
have
so
some
much for
guests.
watching. Yes, I would love to have guests from this to join us and check it out. So thank you for watching. You guys, I'll let you go, Nicolette. Have a great day.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Jason.
and yeah, I'll be in touch.
All righty, sir. Have a great one. See you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.